Hey Rebels! Today Ryan Horne is returning for his second episode on the Rebellion Brewing podcast. We'll be talking eyewear, fashion, and art in Regina, as well as cracking open a can of Rebellion's brand new seasonal known as Night Viper. It's a Mexican chocolate stout featuring cocoa and peppers, so buckle up, it's going to be a good show. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
How's it going?
Very good, very good. I can't believe it's been a year since the last one.
Man,
Time flies.
It doesn't feel like it feels like it was yesterday.
I know. It's so good.
So what's new with Spex?
Well, we're coming up to almost our 5th anniversary here in January. So again, something I can't believe has gone by so fast. It's just been a great ride. Some parts feel like it's been a long time, and sometimes it feels like it was just like a few weeks ago we opened. So yeah, just onward and upward. Got lots of exciting things coming up.
Previously in an email, you were telling me that there's some new technology and new techniques with prescriptions. So let's jump into that. What new things are coming out?
Well, we're very proud to have been the first optician in Saskatchewan to bring on what's called Enchroma technology, and it's a type of lens that helps those with color deficiencies to actually see color for the first time in their lives. So that's been very exciting. We get calls from all over, get people visiting from all over because we have samples that are free to try. We have a way to kind of diagnose and I guess determine what type of color deficiency one might have, and then offer up the appropriate lens choice to help those with that. So it's not for everybody, but when it does work, it's usually a very emotional moment, and especially for kids who get to see color for the first time. That's pretty cool.
What is customer feedback? You said it's pretty emotional.
Yeah.
Has the pickup in Regina been slow or really rapid?
Oh, it's been the response has been incredible. There's been calls daily about this stuff, and from people all over too, not just Regina. So a lot of out-of-towners having to make arrangements to come into town and check it out. So it's been super exciting, and just a feel-good type part of our job, where not only do we help people look great and see great, but to actually help somebody see color for the first time is it's that YouTube moment sometimes that you get that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I was talking with a friend who has like a really strong prescription,
Yes.
those really big, thick lenses, and they were kind of complaining they were very limited in what they can
Right.
do with their frames. Do you guys have a solution for that?
Well, there's a few approaches to that we are very careful about. For one thing, we like to choose an appropriate frame style, and then marry it up with the appropriate lens material for thinness. And then the third part would be we are ones that actually cut our own lenses into frames in-house. So we have the latest technology to customize the lens fit into a frame. So starting back at the first part where we want to choose the proper frame, it's about, there are some limitations where the bigger the frame you go, typically the thicker the lens turns out. And it's been a time in fashion lately where larger frames are definitely more in demand. However, lately we're starting to see some of the small ones come back again, which is good for those people. And then we would go into a material, an ultra high index type material to reduce thickness and make them look as natural as possible.
What's an ultra high index?
Where the material of plastic is a little bit different and it's more compressed. So it's not going to have the same kind of thickness as a standard plastic. There's definite kind of power ranges where we have certain lenses that we prefer for certain powers. And so basically choosing the proper frame and the proper lens is absolutely the main part that we do. But after that, it's how we cut the lenses into the frame, how we can hide that lens within the frame, especially on a plastic frame that has maybe a little more of a thicker frame to it. We can confidently say that we can help people get the most enjoyment out of their glasses and satisfaction by having them as thin as possible. And quite often people will pick up their glasses and have a look at the side profile and go, wow, I have never seen my glasses look that thin before. And a lot of it's just technique on how we're cutting the lenses. A lot of places will just fire off their frame and lenses or frames off to a lab somewhere down east or down west, whatever. And when they get to that lab, there's often an assembly line and people just kind of going through, in a very fast manner, putting every job together and, basically putting in this person's lenses and pressing automatic on the machine, and then it just comes out, quite thick. Whereas we custom design the bevel, and we really want people to love their glasses more than anything they've ever had before. So we have that kind of ability and skill and technology.
Deadly.
Yeah.
What would be one of the common misperceptions or misconceptions about kind of what you guys do or your side of the industry?
Well, again, our side is going to be, I think a lot of people are still a little bit leery of even walking in the door due to what they have as a perceived cost. And, we do, it's no secret that we are into high-end independent eyewear, but also we are also very keen on helping virtually everybody if we can. We want everybody to have at least some quality to their eyewear and not just something that is mass-produced and somewhat disposable. So I work really hard to source frames from around the world that we can confidently say somebody is going to have longer and enjoy more over a longer period of time, which I feel creates much more value overall. And we, of course, we have the stuff when somebody comes in and they want something really wicked and money's no option. We're no object. We can certainly help them, but I really want to encourage anyone who's looking for eyewear to at least come check us out, come see what we can do for you. We have a variety of frame prices. We also have frames that are amazing that we're always maybe could blow out, or that we've had for a little while. I mean, we're just a small little business. We're not a chain at all, so we can move on some products that are maybe sitting on the shelf a little longer. There's always a solution. I don't like the word no. I like to always find that there's an option for everybody and what works for both of us, So we're easy to work with. Yeah.
When you told me you were coming back on the show, I had this thought in the back of my head. I'm like, man, I think I wear my glasses up to 16, 17 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
Effectively, if I'm awake,
yeah,
they're on my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't want to fart around and have something that's not working for you.
Right, especially if it's not working. I mean, there's definitely, people getting eyewear all sorts of places that are having success and everything is fine, and that's okay. But we're here to also say, hey, we can take your look up another notch or two or more, and we can also really ensure that the lenses are positioned better in a way that we take more measurements and we cut the lenses differently than perhaps most as well. So I'm not going to say we're better. I'm just going to say we can provide other ways of doing it a little more. We take a little more care and attention sometimes than the discounters or whatever. But you're right. It's something you put on first thing in the morning and you take off at the end of the day. It's one of the most important things you'll wear. And I just want to change the perception that, they're just a pair of glasses and that they're, it doesn't matter. I'll just go get them over here. It doesn't really matter. But it kind of does. And again, that upfront cost is scary to some for sure. But we want to assure people that at Spex, we can really help with an overall value. Again, a value where you're getting more bang for your buck, more longevity out of your glasses, more enjoyment, perhaps better comfort and vision. So that's what we're here to provide and really help people try to understand that we want to be your optician. We want to be your place to go, and we're consistent. We have, generally the same people all the time, and we got a good crew. I'm very lucky. I have awesome people with us at Spex, and we love what we do. We want to really help people, and we care about what you end up walking out the door with.
You're putting extra thought into this.
Yeah.
I've seen you kind of glancing to our side a little bit because we've got some beer. You want to dip into it?
Yeah, your observation is very much true. It's very hard not to notice this incredibly colorful can that is worthy of never going into recycling ever, but sitting on a shelf somewhere because it's truly art. And the beer inside it looks really good too.
Today's beer is called Night Viper. It's our brand new seasonal release for fall, 7.5% ABV. You're thinking chocolate, creamy, a little heat. It's a Mexican hot chocolate stout.
Giddy up. Orale.
Let's have a sip.
Cheers.
Cheers. Red on the nose, super chocolatey,
Exactly.
big cocoa aroma.
That's smooth. Creamy.
Creamy.
Yeah, very creamy.
That's the lactose, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to kill me. This is like drinking a candy bar.
It kind of is. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Very easy. I would never guess it's 7.5. It definitely is a thicker kind of a viscosity, but very easy.
Oh, man, that's dangerous. And a little bit of heat creeping up.
It's coming.
Couple sips in.
Yeah. It's coming. Well done. Once again.
You know, the story behind it is Mark went to Dave and said, I've got an idea for a beer called Night Viper. Figure it out. And Dave went to Mexico and had this basically like a Build-A-Bar of Mexican hot chocolate, and that was the inspiration for this beer. It had like little chili spices and vanilla, cinnamon, all that stuff, and he could mix his own hot chocolate. And that's kind of what he tried to execute for his vision in this beer.
Unreal. That's the creativity in your industry, and what you guys are doing is just amazing. I'll stop talking.
Oh, that's heaven. I could drink that all day long.
It's like, instead of a coffee, have a Night Viper. It's a really nice, smooth beverage. Very nice.
You remarked on the art of the can.
Absolutely.
It's done by Joel Hustack. He's a local artist. He's been doing graphic design for a few years, and some of his claim to fame is Star Wars and Game of Thrones. He's done artwork for the card games and some books. And when I reached out to him, I said, man, I really love your artwork. I love the style. I think it will fit with what we're trying to build here. So I sat down with him for a meeting, and I said, I want like this 1950s graphic novel, comic booky style. I want this kind of like otherworldly kind of feel to it. Yeah. And he's like, I'll see what I can do. And he comes back with a spaceship, and I was just like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like the spaceship is over a wheat field instead of crop circles. It's the Rebellion logo. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the original version had tentacles coming out,
okay,
and it was holding a Danish.
Oh, wow.
Because the original version, we were going to call it a pastry stout.
Okay.
And then we were iterating through our recipes and our ideas, and Mark said, I don't want the pastry on the can. And then I said, well, how about a crop circle? And so Joel and I were kicking back, what would the crop circle look like? And I said, how about the hop cone?
That is unreal. That's really clever. That is the prettiest can of beer I've ever seen. Like, it is unreal. And I love the colors. I'm really a big fan of 80s, 90s synthwave scene, and this just is very much like that as well, with the greens, the purples, the yellows.
And the pink on the edge.
Pink, yeah.
You know whose idea that was? That was Brianna's idea.
Well, it just finishes it. It just finishes it up top there.
I wanted the can, when I originally envisioned it, to be something that would jump off at you at the shelf. You had to pick it up.
Right.
You had to have it in your hand.
Well, that's when someone's going to the cooler trying to choose what beer to pick up, that's all you've got is a visual at the moment, unless somebody really has heard about it or something, and then the visual is going to be a great one for people to grab it and have a very pleasant surprise when they crack it open. Well
I've
done.
a very sad story about stout. As a whole style of beer, it's not very popular. It doesn't sell the same way that IPAs do, that
Right.
hazy IPAs or sours do. Those are really in vogue. But there's something about stout, just, I think it holds people back because maybe it's a little dark, and roasty, and they're not quite certain or sure.
Right.
They've been trained to think that super light, crisp, clear beers
Yes.
are what beer should be.
Right.
I really want to get people to wrap their heads around that. Dark doesn't mean heavy.
Correct.
It doesn't mean stomach filling, bloaty,
No.
and thick. It's more about you're looking for that roasty, chocolatey, coffee
Right.
kind of character.
Yes.
This one's 7.5, so it is going to be a bigger, bolder beer.
Mm-hmm.
But stouts don't have to be scary, and I think this would be like a perfect entry for someone who wants to kind of taste something that's different from the other light beers.
Oh, I completely agree. I'm still, getting better at IPAs myself. It's coming, and then the lighter, more refreshing beers are typically, easier for me. But this is also the season where I don't want those anymore. I want darker beers. I have the amber in my kegerator right now, the
Yeah.
Rebellion Amber, and it's beautiful. But this is something where when you just want something just a little bit more on these cooler days, I think it's just the feel good, warm kind of, give you the warm fuzzies and comfort beer, right? That's kind of what it's like.
I feel like you're totally getting what we're trying to put down. You're picking it up.
Yep, I am. Well done. It's very good.
What you said about amber is true. We've noticed that our light, bright summer beers, they slow down a bit as soon as
sure.
the weather changes, and the stuff like amber just accelerates. People
Right.
want to get that in them
Yeah.
as soon as the weather turns.
Isn't that great? It's the one part of living in Canada. We have, 4 real seasons, or basically 2 seasons, if you really look at it.
Winter in construction.
And winter in construction, absolutely. And so, it's nice to switch it up. It's nice to say, okay, we've had that time, and now we're going to enjoy this season with something darker. And what a great way to kick off the fall. That's for sure.
You also touched upon wanting to collaborate and seeing linkages between your business and craft beer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fashion show you and Jen have been cooking up.
Right. Well, again, I am a staunchly local small business in Regina, and you guys are such a great, local business as well. And I just love the fact that you guys provide craft beer with attention to detail and attention to all the things that, big breweries kind of might take for granted. And in much the same light, we're doing the same thing in eyewear with craft eyewear, where those who typically love craft beer love it because it's better, it's more. There's more options. It's more unique. It's better made. The ingredients are fresh, and same thing with eyewear. We're using better materials, newer designs, all sorts of. There's great stories behind each brand that we carry. So I find the link between Rebellion and Spex to be a really interesting one, where we're both doing, I think, this city and province a great service by providing world-class products. And so we're also of a similar mindset of, kind of screw the establishment. Let's kind of blaze our own trail and make our own way. Challenge people. Offer some new products, new things, new ideas, and rather than just doing the traditional, safe kind of things, let's crank it up. So let's do something like a fashion show. Rebellion's got great gear, fashion gear, hoodies, t-shirts, toques, you name it, and they got a great, you guys got a great brewery room there and tap room. So let's get some people going. Let's raise some money for charity, and we'll throw some specs on some models and some Rebellion gear and have a great night. So we decided December 13th, Friday the 13th, which could be any more fitting for both of us. We're going to have an event in the tap room. We're going to sell tickets. We're going to sell tickets for $20. You're going to get a beer with that. And half of the proceeds will be going to Street Culture Kids, which anytime we can help the core community and the less privileged youth in this city, the more prosperous our city will be. Like, that's just the core of everything. So I love the association there, and let's have a good time and celebrate, beers and fashion and eyewear and all the stuff that is really great in this city.
Street Culture's been really great to work with. They did our patio art. They've done chalkboard art.
Right.
Have they done any artwork for you?
I haven't, because I wasn't aware that they as much till I was speaking with Jen about all the stuff that they were doing for you. So it opens up my mind to another way association, perhaps directly with them, to consider different things for sure. Like, I'm all about art and creativity and doing just cool things. So yeah. Love it.
We've been advertising or name dropping them repeatedly.
Right.
And now what we're seeing is businesses from downtown and warehouse have been coming to us and saying, how can we get their number? How do we get them to do something awesome like that for us? So it's cool to see that you've picked up that piece too. You've put the links together.
Yep, absolutely. And thank you for that. I mean, obviously you guys have had some success with them, and I wish them all the success too. And I think it's great that they're able to participate and also grow and help those in need in the city. So it's a great win-win for everybody. So good.
I can't wait for this fashion show. I want to see what people are going to look like with these brand new glasses and the brand new Rebellion gear we're bringing in for Christmas.
It's going to be a badass show, man. Honestly, it's going to be badass. It's going to be, the whole punk rock thing, it's just going to be, not your traditional fashion show. And that's, again, why would we do anything traditionally? Let's crank it up. Let's have a good time, have some brews, and help the kids out, and look at glasses and sexy people. All the good stuff.
Big smile on your face.
Absolutely.
Well, Ryan, I want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you again, man. I really appreciate it, and love drinking your beer and having them in my keg, and just we'll be back again, I'm sure. Maybe I'll have a podcast and have you on it sometime. I'm working on it.
I'm up for it.
Love it.
Rebels, thanks for listening today. I'm going to include links to Spex by Ryan's social media channels in the show notes, so you can find more about Ryan and what he's up to. We're going to be launching the event page for the fashion show probably mid-November, and you can grab your tickets ahead of time. And remember, half of proceeds will be going to Street Culture Kids. I'm also proud to let you know that the Rebellion Brewing Podcast is an affiliate member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. If you're into podcasts, you're looking for great stories locally produced right here in our province, the Sask Podcast Network at saskpodcastnetwork.com is a great one-stop shop to discover local produced podcasts. As always, if you want to find the latest news about Rebellion Brewing, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Untapped. Untapped is like Facebook for beer, except way cooler. Thank you for joining the Rebellion.